Welcome to RV to Freedom Live. We're your hosts, Carenza and Brandon.
Hello.
And we help future nomads smoothly transition to life as full-time RVers.
We're also the host of the RV to Freedom group, which some of you guys are probably in right now, and the RV to Freedom page, which is where this video is shown.
Yeah, and we're the creators of the Roadmap to Full-Time RVing program that does help you transition to full-time life.
Yep.
So we do have a question for you guys. When you travel, are you looking for unique experiences and maybe more interesting places to stay overnight than a parking lot?
Or a truck stop.
Yeah, well, it's a parking lot,
Yeah.
right? Well, if so, our guests tonight have created a program just for that. So please welcome Kim and Dawn Green of Harvest Hosts. Hi, guys. So Harvest Hosts is a membership program where you're invited to stay overnight at wineries, farms, and museums, and you get to experience those places.
So you guys, you're the creators of Harvest Hosts, but you are RVers, and you have been RVing for a long time and been a lot of places. So maybe tell people about some of those travels.
Well, we'd love to.
Well, we have been RVing since 2000. We got our first pop-up camper, and we've had the opportunity to RV all over the world. We've actually had an expedition vehicle that we drove to 46 countries, I believe, around the world back in the mid-2000s. And we also had a Class C RV that we had in Europe for several years, and that was really fun. That gave us so many interesting opportunities in Europe that was really great.
That sounds really interesting. Like, we would love to do that at some point.
Yeah, 43 countries, did you say?
Or 46, something like that.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, we're still trying to get all the states knocked down, but yeah.
Well, actually, you probably have more states than we do.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big country just in the U.S. alone. So it's almost like it's like Europe. There's so many states if each one was a country, right? Trying to
Absolutely. And we've spent so much time putting Harvest Hosts together that we spend a lot of time in our office. As you can see, that's where we are right now. And so we don't get out as much as we would like, but we do try to get out and visit our hosts at least once a year. Last summer we spent 3 months on the road, and we visited 60 hosts in 3 months.
Wow.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's a lot of hosts to go visit.
It was a lot of
overnights. So how did all these experiences traveling in Europe and RVing over there and then RVing here lead to the creation of Harvest Hosts, or want to make you do something like this?
Well, we always like the experience. Harvest Hosts is all about the experience anyways. And when we were traveling overseas, one of the nice things that we enjoyed was meeting new people. And I think that's why most of us RV anyways, is to meet new people, have new experiences. And so when we were in Europe, there was a program, actually there's several programs all across Europe. And the granddaddy of the program was a company called French Passion, or Passion. And they've been around for over 20 years. They have several thousand locations just in France. So we're talking wineries, farms, different types of producers, cheese makers, sausage makers, all sorts of really interesting experiences. And so this just opened up a whole new area for us to meet new people when we were traveling. And then eventually we came back to the US and said, this is a great program. There's got to be a program in the US because we want to buy local, we want to do the farm to table meals, we want to do all this stuff. And we started looking around and there was nothing. And so we just said, oh, how hard can it be to make a fun program like this? And we've been working our butts off now for 9 years, making this great program. We think and just having a good time meeting new people. And like Kim said, we spent 3 months on the road last summer visiting our hosts, and we were so pleased that the experience for them is as good as the experience for the RVer. They're enjoying meeting the people. They're enjoying the experiences of the stories of the RVers, because everybody's got a story. And so it's just real fun, and you have this now available for everybody else.
Yeah, we enjoy it a lot. We've been Harvest Host members for a long time, kind of off and on, as we need it.
Almost since we started
continuously, yeah.
RVing.
And,
Started full-timing, I should say. Yeah. We didn't know about it when we were just weekend campers, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it definitely the experiences that we've had there and the places we've got to visit. It's not something we could do on our own. It's not something I ever really expected.
Yeah.
When we went full-time RVing, like, yeah, we're gonna park near Brussels sprouts and hang out on a farm and get to go see farm animals and
walk around at night and look at the goats, or sit outside a winery, and where it's peaceful and it's not expected at all. And every experience we've had's been a good one. So it's
wonderful. We're so glad to hear that.
Yeah, and that's how we hear it from everybody. I mean, I don't want to be all like, softballing you guys, but everybody that's a Harvest Host member enjoys being a Harvest Host member. I mean, with most other clubs, there's something about it that's kind of weird, but this one's it's an easy one to like. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of experiences? Maybe you could tell us a little bit more, because I'm sure you guys. Well, I know you've done more than we have. If you did 60 last year.
Our favorites tend to be the wineries, and we've been to some wonderful places. They tend to be beautiful with all of the vineyards, and just that look. I actually really like that. Those very even rows really appeal to me. But we've also been some really interesting farms, some places with beautiful views. We have a really interesting gator ranch down in Mississippi. That's probably one of our most interesting ones. And let's see what else. We were just talking with you about the wonderful berry farm that we have in Oregon that's got a fantastic view of the hood.
That's actually the cover photo image on our website, is that berry farm.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And what are some of your favorites?
Well, just like you were saying, the photo that you have of your rig at the berry farm, we get members sending us all photos from all over the place as well. And so we posted a lot of those to our Instagram page, just so people who aren't familiar with our program can take a look at the photos and see all the different types of locations, where you're going to park. But for us, I don't know, we have so many really interesting ones. We've got some right on rivers. In fact, our very first host we ever got is on the Willamette River in Oregon. Yeah. And he enjoyed our members coming by so much, he actually built an outdoor bathroom for them. So
wow.
That's a really rare,
generous.
Yeah, really rare thing, considering that everybody has to be self-contained. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can use a bathroom once in a while."
But we do have some really interesting locations. We have historical properties. We have things like alpaca ranches, lavender farms, orchards. We've got tons of different kinds of museums. We've got vehicle museums, airplane museums. We actually just got a vacuum cleaner museum. It's been a really busy month. Where's
the vacuum museum?
And also we picked up a couple of train museums where you can go on train rides as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's fun.
And we finally have our first Kentucky bourbon distillery. So that's
nice.
That's
we just brought that up last week when we were just kind of going over membership programs in general, and we're not the biggest wine drinkers, but Brandon was like, seems like there should be a
distillery or
in
something.
bourbon country, but like, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
He's like, I'll have to look that up.
we actually have several distilleries, but they're spread all around the country. So we were just really excited to get this one in Kentucky, the real Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. And one of our guests here says that what could be more relaxing than a lavender farm?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely, especially when that lavender is blooming. It's beautiful, and the smell would just be amazing. And that's one of the locations that our members send us these wonderful photos. You know, you just get this gorgeous purple with somebody's RV in front. Oh, it's wonderful.
nice.
Yeah, you want a good photo, you just make sure to head there, like during bloom, right? It's like iconic. And I was trying to think. I think the Mississippi one is.
The
is that where?
Gatorage?
Yeah.
Do they have airboats there?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay,
Yeah.
that might have been where we stayed.
I think
then.
that's where we stayed. It's like the jet boat. Wasn't it a jet boat or airboat? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not up on the which boats, or I don't quite remember which boat we were in. But you know that back swamp kind of area. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. People talk about it, and you may have experienced it there as well. We haven't actually spent the night there, but I guess the gators make noise at night, so that's one of the experiences you get to have is listening to these things make noise at night.
That would be a little scary, but I do remember we walked around. We were walking around the area at night, and there's these giant gators. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that sound?
Not
Did
gonna
you do
do
that
it
again? Nice. So
I saw the Gator Boys there too.
yeah, the Gator Boys, they have some TV show on like Animal Planet or something. They were
Something
coming
like that.
through there at the same time, so they had like an RV or a camper or
Yeah,
something.
they had an RV and all this stuff, and they were, set up for Gator Boys, so they were at the Gator place.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit about how Harvest Host works. We did a little bit last week, but maybe you have your elevator pitch that you tell everybody.
Well, as far as let's start from the host standpoint. How it works with the hosts. It's our way to support local businesses. I mean, just being a small mom and pop operator ourselves, we want to support other small producers, keep them in business, and just, by helping them stay in business, well, it creates all these fun things for us, you guys, for all the RVers. And for what's in it for the host, we don't charge the host anything to participate because we're trying to support them. The hosts don't charge our members anything to park overnight. And so we just ask everybody to say thank you by making a purchase. Make a new friend, go in, experience. It's a flight of brews at the brewery, maybe a wine tasting, going to the farm store, go pet an alpaca, do whatever they've got available, and just have fun. For the RVer, we put together our online interactive maps on our website, so people can log in and put in a destination, find what's around them, even plan out your whole trip by putting in a route. So you can go from A to B and find all the hosts along that route. And it's a really nice way to be able to do your planning. And we've been getting a lot of feedback from our members over the last few years. We're now in our 9th year. And our members have been saying, when are you going to do an app? We use our phones, we use our mobile devices. So last year we spent 6 months making and testing our app, and that was one of the things we did when we were on our 3-month trip, was we tested our app to make sure that if it was going to crash, it was going to crash on us, nobody else. And it works really wonderfully. We put that out there Thanksgiving and Christmas time, so we now have our Android app and our iOS app, and now people can just use their phones, and we're having great feedback on that as well. Unfortunately, it's working really well. Our other phone.
But what we do is we ask RVers to call the hosts 24 hours in advance, or a couple days, or as much as a week if you'd like. But we don't want people just showing up, so you give them a call, let them know that you'd like to come and visit. And you'd want to, as an RVer, you'd want to check out the host page to make sure that your vehicle can fit, and we do provide that information. 80% of our locations can accommodate vehicles 45 feet and longer, and that includes any kind of towed or trailer or anything. And so the host, you get a hold of the host says, come on down. We ask that you arrive during business hours so that you can enjoy what they have to offer. You get to meet them, find out about how they plant the grapes, to make the wine, how they distill the spirits, or learn about alpacas or the gators.
I get a nice tour of the
And get a tour.
yeah.
If it's a museum, you can take a tour of the facility. Whatever it is, they all have something to offer. So we just want to make sure that you arrive during time that you can benefit from that. And you just have a great time. You have a nice experience that's someplace unique, different than any place else you might have been. And you get to meet some really interesting people, maybe get into some parts of the country that you would never have gotten into before.
And actually, along that line, when we say, arrive during business hours, we actually recommend that, since you're already making the host your destination for the day, arrive early. That way you have a short travel day, you're not exhausted, you don't have to worry about traffic, and then you have all day to enjoy the host. A lot of the places, like the museums, they understand that people arrive late in the day. So they'll let you go in for an hour or so when you first get there, and then you can go back in the morning and go back.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other things we really like about it is because a lot of these places are businesses, at night, everyone goes home and it's really quiet and peaceful.
Yeah, that's one of the things we like too.
Yeah, it's a little different than a truck stop or a Walmart even, where,
Definitely.
there's always something going on outside.
You don't have people coming and going all the time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes you do have weird alligator noises and goats and
Yeah, you might hear
roosters in the
some
morning.
roosters in the morning sometimes, but all good sounds,
Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah.
And even though the host can generally take multiple vehicles, anywhere from 2 to 4 vehicles, most of the time you're going to be by yourself. And if there happens to be another Harvest Host member, well, you have something in common right off the bat. You both are both enjoying the visit and make new friends for the road.
Yeah.
Right.
I think only once we've been where another RV was there at the same time, and it was totally, it was easygoing, and I think we were both kind of a little more indoor people, so we kind of, we said hi or whatever, and then we went inside and had our night, and it was fine. You were talking about that one park where they put in bathrooms. There was another one. It's Northern California.
No, it's in Washington.
It's a Washington winery. And the guy there, he had pads he was putting in. And he said he was going to put in electric for Harvest Host as well. So that was pretty cool.
He said, he couldn't actually rent them out because it wasn't zoned for that. But he's like, but I'm an RVer, so I know what it's like. So I'm going to provide that.
Right, he can invite his Harvest Host friends to come and stay, and that's really nice. And that's one of the things that we found is that our hosts are enjoying the program so much that they are thinking of ways that they can get more visitors. We've had steady growth since the beginning, but it's only been in the last year or two that we're hearing from members that they are meeting other Harvest Host members at the locations. So that makes us feel really good, and so that's been really fun for us. But that's new. So the next time you're someplace, you might find somebody else there.
And as you were talking about an occasional host with hookups, that is definitely the exception to the rule.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course. I mean, because that's why we ask all our members to have self-contained RVs, because you're not going to have access to electricity, you're not going to have access to water, sewer, or dump. Now, granted, once in a while you might get lucky and you do get that. But since that is the exception to the rule, like you say, we don't want to cause our hosts to have zoning issues or make them go out and get zoning permission to put in the RV pads or anything else. And this way, they just allow their customer to park overnight, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Right. Because it is an overnight. It's not like you're camping there.
That's
So
right.
for
And
just
that
a night, you
that
don't
is
need
one of the main points of the program is that it is set up as an overnight. We don't want to overstay our welcome. We don't want to take advantage of the hosts. They're being extremely generous in allowing our members to come and visit, and we want to make sure that there aren't any problems, that they don't have any issues with having people setting up camp on their properties, because they're not campgrounds. They're just offering a parking spot is really all it is, and it's just an overnight parking spot.
Do you have any other, I guess, etiquette that you would like your members to follow or try to follow as far as, slides or generators or any of that sort of thing?
Well, slides are no problem. Generators, we just ask that people be considerate. If you're parked near the host's neighbors, or if there is another RVer there, try to use your generator as little as possible. Just try and treat people the way that you would like to be treated. That's the whole golden rules thing, that we feel that we always want to treat others the way we'd like to be treated. So just be considerate. Don't start any fires. Don't. If you have a pet, please keep your pet on a leash and make sure that you clean up after your pet. What else can we think of? Just really be considerate.
Yeah.
Well, and when you arrive, you want to go in and introduce yourself right away. Generally, when you call, you're going to ask or be told where you should park when you arrive, because you don't want to just park anywhere in the parking lot, because you may not fit, and they may have a special spot for you on the side of the building, or right next to the vineyards, or next to berry plants.
We also don't want our members to be getting in the way of any of their business activities. If they're crushing grapes, or if they have trucks that are going to be coming and going, we want to make sure that our members are not in their way. And one other thing which goes along with the self-contained, obviously, is that we don't want anybody dropping any gray water on the properties. That's definitely would not be a nice thing to do to your host.
And it kind of goes without, I like to think it goes without saying, but if you're parked on asphalt, put some jack pads down when you level yourself out. If it's hot, you can go right through that asphalt. All the members have a membership card. So we say, go on into the farm, into the winery, the distillery, whatever it is. Introduce yourself, say, hi, I'm here, here's my membership card, sign in, and you can say, hey, can I set myself up and then come in for, shopping or enjoy the wine tasting. A lot of the hosts also have meals, so they have restaurants. One of the best things is on Friday and Saturday night, a lot of them have entertainment. So if you can plan out your trip ahead of time, and you can call, you can say, do you have any entertainment? You go in and enjoy a night.
That's
music or dance or anything.
That's definitely one of my favorite things is particularly at the wineries. We can go in, get a bottle or two of wine and watch the entertainment, and then we don't have to drive anywhere. It's great.
Right. So we have a couple of questions. There's a lot of feedback right now. So. How do we get this off?
It's on there.
Oh, okay. So one of the questions that I know is kind of common, and we touched on this already, is about their size limits, if there are any size limits. And you already mentioned 80% of your hosts, you said?
That's right.
Yeah, that's handle right. 45 feet and up.
Yep.
That's pretty big. That should accommodate most people.
Most people. We do want to be try to accommodate everybody. All of our hosts can't take that, but we do want to make sure that the majority of RVers out there can use this program. So we try, when we're looking, to make sure that we're always looking for locations with big parking lots with good access. But every once in a while, we have a host that says, I'd really like to have RVers come, but I can only take up to 44 feet, or I can only take up to 29 feet. And those are brake limits that we show on the website is up to 29 feet, up to 44 feet, and then 45 feet longer. We use little icons on the website and on the app to indicate that, so make it really easy.
Yes.
We also can search by size, and it'll show you all of the posts that can accept the 45 feet longer.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I probably didn't realize that because we're small enough that we're usually like fit.
Well,
But,
even our old RV was bigger.
but that one
and
was, and we did look on
we
there.
parked by the
but-
Brussels sprouts with it. And,
Yeah.
yeah, we have one of our other photos we use a lot of the old RV is by the Brussels sprouts.
But those little icons are very helpful. So it works really well to be able to see like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Because I look for that and I look for dogs, since we have dogs, I always look for the little dog icon.
And we do have, I think it's about 90% of our locations will allow pets on a leash as well, because we know that that's something else that's important to people. Many people travel with their pets, so we want to make sure that most of our locations are pet friendly as well.
Nice.
Great.
So Jennifer just wrote that they just bought a Class A and they're super excited to try out this community. So,
well, congratulations, Jennifer, on getting your Class A. That's wonderful. We're so excited for you.
Yeah, and the new lifestyle. Welcome.
yeah.
Right. And I know Susan is also very excited to try this out because she loves visiting farms. And I got to say, Susan, it's awesome for that because, I didn't expect to be able to park next to the Brussels sprouts and do all that. But being able to visit farms, that was on my list when we went RVing.
Yeah,
I was going to go berry picking no matter what.
Yeah.
So that being able to stay there and do it makes it even better. And
yeah, we totally agree. That's really cool. We really enjoy that a lot too. We have had members tell us that they've gotten to do such interesting things like comb goats and milk cows and collect eggs. And
when it's in the time of year you go, right now the goat farms are having their kids.
Yes.
So
They
they
want all the baby goats.
and they will actually let you hold them and you can carry one.
We just got an email from one of our hosts that they're going to be having kid hugging days coming up.
Oh, that would be awesome. I know one place we were going to stay, we didn't get to. We had to move through too quickly, but we went ahead and stopped at it's a goat dairy, and oh yeah, the kids are so cute, and they have the best cheese I've ever had there.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, I just want to go back just for that, go eat it. I was going to let you guys know too, Travis Carter came on and said, thanks for all you do. Harvest Host is a great program to add to your parking arsenal.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis. It's really good to hear from you. I really appreciate it.
And
so talking about, go ahead.
Another really fun thing about the hosts are that the hosts are usually, more times than not, they've probably been in the area for generations. And they know everything there is to know about the community. And we have a number of hosts who are part of the program just to bring in more people into the community.
Nice.
So, it's a great way to go into town, to check out some of the restaurants in town, or some of the museums that they might have in town, or just drive around and visit the wineries or their neighbors.
Yeah.
It's just for county parks and state parks that you may not find out. The hosts are a wealth of local information that you can mine to stay longer in the area.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've gotten many recommendations from hosts about where to go to eat and other farms to just go visit that were around.
And I think one of the things we liked about it was it kind of pulled you off the highway a little bit. So it was like you're not just crossing through these towns, but you go a little bit off the highway to like a farm and like, oh, this is a cute little town I didn't even think about, because
exactly. Yeah. Our locations are spread all across the board. That's one of the questions that we get asked is, okay, so is this going to be right off the highway? Is it convenient? We have some that are right next to highways, some that are down county roads, state roads, and then we have some that are out in the middle of nowhere. So it's all across the board. If you don't wish to get off the highway, if you're going from A to B and you just want to spend the afternoon at the host and don't go too far off, we've got some of those, and then we've got them out in the booth.
Nice.
And actually, that brings up another point. When you're in a hurry to go from point A to point B, you're traveling all day long. Since Harvest Host is all about the experience, we'd really recommend going to your destination, getting there, doing whatever you need, and then start going to your host. It's much more relaxing. You enjoy yourself a lot more than driving all day long and trying to get into a host before they close and have time to enjoy yourself. Because you're all going to be stressed out from the road. So it's going to be 2 glasses of wine before you can unwind.
Exactly. So another question that has come up, and I think we've talked about it a little bit, is what if I don't drink alcohol? Because there's a lot of people, you hear a lot about wineries and all of that, but do you have an idea of about how many aren't wineries, or what you can do at the winery if you don't drink?
Because there are a lot of people who don't drink. We want to make sure, same thing, we want to make sure that all our RVers out there can enjoy Harvest Host. We did start with wineries and farms, and over time we've expanded to the museums and all kinds of other kinds of attractions, which are also good for families. We have 48% of our locations are non-alcohol related. Our goal is always to keep it at about 50-50. And it's stayed right about 52% alcohol related and 48% non-alcohol related. So we definitely have locations for people who don't drink.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot higher percentage than I thought. I thought it was going to be 20% non-wineries.
No, we really do try to make sure that there's something for everybody.
And actually, a lot of the wineries or the breweries will have other things available as well. Maybe a restaurant, maybe a farm tour. But we don't want people to feel uncomfortable. If somebody's going to feel uncomfortable being at a winery or a brewery and not drinking, well, we have other places. So, maybe we can find another place nearby. Maybe you can go to a different type of place the next day. But for instance, we just got an email from a longtime member who doesn't drink alcohol, and one of her favorite places is a winery in Tennessee. And I'm like, how is this one of your favorite places? She says, well, the people are so nice, and they have such a variety of wine-related gifts that she'll go there and just to spend time with the hosts, and then buy gifts to give away to people that she visits along the way. So that's always nice.
That's kind of how we do it, because we don't drink wine
or beer.
So we'll buy gifts, or a lot of times the winery store has chocolates and local honey or local gifts from the area too, so we can buy that stuff.
Might do a wine tasting every so often.
Yeah, I keep tasting it and I keep not liking it though.
But yeah, we do. We buy a lot of gifts, or we and the brewery we just ate there because they still had food. Yeah. So yeah, it worked for us.
Yeah, that would be one of our favorites. We were talking about the entertainment. Second to the entertainment is if they have a restaurant. And it's that's just great. We just love that.
Yeah, that makes it easy because we're probably gonna eat out on a travel day anyway, and so you're gonna might as well just.
Sorry, don't mean to talk over you, Brendan. When you're looking at our host information, and you pull up each host has a separate page, and on that page, not only can you read other comments from other members, you can see photographs that people have taken at the host, but we have all the icons, and I think Kim touched on it before. We'll list all the different icons. If they have tours, if there's restaurants, we try to say if there's Wi-Fi, if there's nearby hiking, anything that we can come up with or the host will tell us about, we'll put that down on an icon as well. So just at a glance, you'll find out if there's something other than just drinking.
Yeah. Like a restaurant. We do have a restaurant icon.
So
it's nice. It makes it easy to see right away. It's not like you're having to dig into the reviews or comments left by people to find out. It's right there.
So there's a question, since you were just talking about the icons. Does your length listed, does that include your toad? Because a lot of times if you're just doing it overnight, you don't want to unhook and everything.
The length listed does include the toad, yes.
Okay, so you need to add that to the length of your RV.
Yeah, like 20 feet. Yeah. I was gonna say if you're comfortable unhooking your toad, we do try to tell you if reversing is required. But if you don't want to hook that up and you're just looking for something easy, the size does include the toad.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I guess that is something to keep in mind, though, is a lot of these you don't exactly know where you're going to park unless, you need to call them, but you may end up having to back in, and with a toad, you can't back in. So just...
If you're on a motorhome with a toad.
Yeah.
We do try to provide that information on the host page. And it is always a good idea when you call the host to ask about the parking situation.
And to tell them what rig you've got, if you've got any concerns or restraints. And so it's always good to get that done beforehand, because one of the issues that some wineries have is they have fancy ornamental gates. And the gate might be 10 feet high. They have the truck entrance because they have to have semis coming in all the time. Nope, we're running out of power. So, so you'll want to tell them the size rig, because they might tell you want to go in, you go down another quarter mile and make a right turn at the truck entrance. So that's always.
Yeah, pretty much with any of these kind of programs, always call ahead. It makes things easier.
It just makes things easier, exactly. No surprises.
You want to hit this? You want to go into questions?
Let's just do a couple questions.
Yeah, so there's another question we have. Is there designated arrival and departure times, or do you have recommended arrival and departure times?
Sure. Every now and then there might be, a host might have a special departure time because they've got a special event going on the next day, which they'll tell you about. I doubt that they're going to come knock on your door at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, it's time for you to leave. They're not going to do that. They like our members. They want everybody to say good things and enjoy their time. As far as arrival times, we always want people to arrive during business hours.
And that information is also included on the host page. Yeah. So typically our members arrive anytime between, say lunchtime and 5 o'clock, for example. And that way they can enjoy what the host has to offer. But you cannot arrive after they close. That's not part of the program.
and also, if you're already staying there and they know you're going to be there, they'll leave the gate unlocked. But a lot of places will have gates. And at the end of the day, they lock the gates. And if you are just trying to show up, or you're running late and you haven't called to say, hey, I'm running late, you might find a locked gate. So you always want to, just like you would call your friends and say, hey, I'm running late. Same thing. You'd want to call the host and say, hey, I'm running late, and can we do this? And the host will say, sure, no problem.
I had the mic off for a second. That's great. Like, oh, you're not going to hear me. Well, one of the other questions that we had were there a couple people asked about places in Canada. And I know you do have some. They wondered if there are a lot, if you have an idea how many you have.
Gosh, I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head. We do have hosts in all the provinces. I'm trying to think. We probably average. We don't have as many as we do in the U.S., but we average probably between 5 and 10 per province. So we have quite a few, but not as many as we have in the U.S. We continue to work on it.
Right. But there are some. So if you're up there, you might as well look for it, right?
Absolutely.
I know one of the people asking is Canadian, so she can always go on the website and kind of preview where they are if she's going to be traveling in those areas.
Oh yes, absolutely. And as part of our trip last summer, we went through part of Ontario, Quebec, all the maritime provinces, and they had hosts in each of the provinces. So, wherever you go, even if you take the ferries out to Newfoundland, you're going to find hosts out there to accept it.
Oh, terrific. That would be really kind of cool to hang out there like that.
Oh yeah, it was really fun. We had a really good time.
Okay. So another little thing is Richard just said he's excited to become new members. So he's ready to look for everything there. And we did have Debbie said they are Harvest Host members. She asked which state the Brussels sprouts are in. I feel like that was Ohio. Maybe Brando remembers. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was Ohio that we did that, the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I can't remember. That was like our first year out on the road.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you specifically which one. A lot of our hosts very different things, very diverse crops. So I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head where the Brussels sprouts are.
Yeah, this was a farm that they grew a bunch of different things.
They did, but we were just talking with some friends the other day, like literally 2 days ago, and we were talking about Canada. So we're talking about Canada and Harvest Host because they were saying they went to Harvest Host there, and this place, they were like, the guy was so nice, and he never even they tried to ask, what crops do you grow, and he was like, everything, just tell me what you want. And he would
go out in the field and just grab them anything they wanted.
Yeah, so I'm assuming maybe they grow Brussels sprouts too, because he was just like, everything, just tell me what you want. Just go out and bring it to them.
Or maybe if they don't have it, they know their neighbor down the road has it, so no problem.
Right.
Just looking to see what other questions we have here.
Well, we have like a fun thing for everybody who's watching. You guys have been very generous with the Freedom RVers audience here. And if you guys want to join Harvest Host, which you can do at harvesthost.com right there, and you can go check out, see their map online, see all the properties that are there. It doesn't give all the details, of course, but you can see that there's so many. You can figure out where you're going.
596, by the way, 596 locations as of today.
Okay, 596. That is so many. More than that. But you guys have been very generous, and you're giving all of our audience $5 off a membership for a year.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, and we have provided you with that. There you go.
Discount code. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
It's RV2 Freedom 5. So just remember the 2 is a number 2, and then the 5 at the end. But that's wonderful, because it's great to get into the experience, and it's a good way to get out there and do different things. So yeah, we love it. So that's why we have you on.
Yeah.
We like the program.
Yeah.
We really appreciate the support that we've gotten from the RVers and the bloggers. It's been wonderful for Harvest Host growth, and we're just really excited about the direction that the program's been going, and we really do owe it to all the RVers who have embraced this idea so much and have just really made it successful. And it's really warmed our hearts to be able to meet so many people on the road and just be able to share this concept. We're having a great time with it, and we're really glad that everybody else is too.
That's great. Well, we've got a lot of people coming in and saying thank you for that. They're like, that's nice of you, and wow, thank you so much, Susan. And
yeah, I mean, I know you guys work really hard, but it also must be nice work to do, just to go from winery to winery, if that's what
and
you
have
enjoy.
Happy people that like to use the program.
That's right. It has been a wild ride. It's been a tremendous amount of work putting this together, but I cannot tell you the support and the reception that we've gotten has made it so worthwhile. And we have had an absolute blast, of course, using the program ourselves, but getting to meet the really interesting people on the road. And our hosts have all been wonderful to us. And so So yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody had to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
Nice.
I really enjoy it because I talk to every single host, and I want to make sure that they know everything about the program, know what to expect. And it's just really great to talk to all these people all over the country and Canada. And we even have several hosts in Baja California. We just got a brand new one, and a new winery in Baja California as well. So it's just
Nice.
fantastic to talk to all these people and get to have new friends that we can go visit anytime around the world.
Yeah, right. Definitely. I know I really want to go to Baja anyway, but now
Yeah, I know.
like knowing
Yeah.
Now you got even more of an excuse to go.
That's right.
We're thinking of crossing up into Canada over towards Montreal, and I see there's some in Toronto, there's some near Ottawa, some near Quebec City. So those could all be good ones to hit.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to find the guy who just has everything.
Yes, all the vegetables. Nice. So
Dennis and Cheryl also said that they are, thanks to the discount, they're heading out west, and so they want to join shortly.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. That's
Thanks.
great.
Thanks, Dennis, Cheryl. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we've got so many people popping in with that because they love that discount, and they look forward to meeting hosts and learning from them. And Newfoundland intrigues them, or Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Like in America.
Yeah, Newfoundland that was really, we really enjoyed it. It's absolutely beautiful up there, and the hosts were really, really nice. And as a matter of fact, we have an aircraft museum up there, and we actually ran into another Harvest Host member there, which you think you're so far out in the middle of nowhere, and there was another host and another member there. So that was really good for us.
Nice.
That's great.
So I think we don't have any more questions. If anybody else has any questions for them, throw them up now, and we'll see them in about 10 seconds. But otherwise, yeah, it's a cool program. I mean, it just makes RVing nicer because when you start this, you think, I'm going to do campgrounds. I'm going to do a month here, then a month there, then a month there. And that's a nice way to do things too, but it's nice to mix it up and have kind of some variety and just experience new places. Because we got into this to see new places and, getting behind the scenes at farms and wineries and stuff is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And campgrounds are a very important part of RVing. And so the idea of Harvest Host is not a campground replacement. It's just a new attraction, a new alternative place, experience to have. So that way you can go to the campground when you want to be there for a week or you want to visit a city. And the hosts are the way to get into the country, to see new areas that are
places that you wouldn't otherwise have found. That's one of our goals is to get RVers into new areas and meet really interesting people. That's what we're all about.
Nice. And sometimes we've used Harvest Host kind of as our in-between stops on longer travels where we're trying to get from, get across some states or whatever. But what's nice is it drags you out somewhere and you see someplace, then you're like, oh, this is cool. I need to come back to this area. Then you can come back and, find a campground in the area, spend some time there and dig deeper. So it's nice. It's a nice way to go.
And, I don't think we delved into the variety of hosts that we have.
We did a little bit.
I mean, we talked about the alcohol related ones, but as far as the farm, I mean, we have U-pick operations, we have orchards, alpaca ranches, goat dairies, cow dairies, museums, aircraft museums. We have some Native American cultural centers. Probably, if you can come up with an idea, lavender farms, we probably got a host that somewhere in the country or at least one that you'll be able to visit. Oops, your microphone's off again.
Oh, yeah, we're not hearing you.
Yeah, Brandon did that a second ago. Stand up. Yeah, gator farms. It's just the gator farms are unusual. That type of stuff. It's not something. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I don't see any more questions, so I think we solved everyone's problems.
All their overnight stays and experience problems
Yeah.
for RVing.
And don't forget about the code RV2Freedom5 at
And-
harvesthost.com.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, you can always, if you forget where that is or forget the name of the program and you remember RV to Freedom, they are on our resource page. So you can go right there too. Yeah. And there's a link directly to them. So no issues there. And you can find the code. We'll put that there later. But thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a great program. We're happy to be members and we're happy we're here to discuss it with us. And thank you. Oh, too.
Very nice of you to have us on your show. And it was great to get the questions from people. Like I said, we always love to connect with other people. So we really, really do appreciate all the support that we've gotten. It's been really wonderful.
Great. Well, we will we'll catch you guys on the road somewhere soon enough, I'm sure. We just saw you.
Thanks, Eric.
Have a great night, and everyone else and all you rest of you Freedom RVers, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Terrific.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this replay of our Facebook Live show.
Join our Facebook community to participate in the live shows and learn how to live in an RV.
Go to rvtofreedomgroup.com to join the RV to Freedom Facebook group.
And to be notified about our next live videos and more, sign up with the link provided below in the video description.
We want to help you find your RV to freedom.